So on this video, we're going to do this a little differently when we talk about Eli Whitney's cotton gin than normally I've done. So I'm going to read through this with you. We'll go ahead to a video. We'll watch the video and then come back and read through with some more. And as you watch this video, there will be questions that will come on your screen through the Ed Puzzle activity. So let's get started. So Eli Whitney's cotton gin. As Eli Whitney left New England and headed south in 1792, he had no idea that within the next 7 months he would invent a machine that would profoundly alter the course of American history. While working as a tutor on a plantation in Georgia, Whitney quickly learned that Southern planters were in desperate need of a way to make the growing of cotton profitable. Long staple cotton. So we're talking about two different varieties of cotton. So there's what's called a long staple cotton, which was easy to separate from its seeds, could be grown all along the coast. The one variety that grew inland had sticky green seeds that were time consuming to pick out of the fluffy white cotton balls. Whitney was encouraged to find a solution to this problem. At stake was the success of cotton planting throughout the South, especially important at a time when tobacco was declining in profit. So I'm going to move forward here and show you a video that shows kind of the two different processes they have. The first part of it is you will see has the first part here. It's going to show a roller gin that removes the long staple cotton. The second part that you can see here is the better cotton gin that Eli Whitney invents, and it uses the teeth and combs and things like that to pull the cotton through and separate it from the seeds. And you can see how this works. So and you can see in the first part of this video, it's going to show you the long staple cotton that the seeds are easily removed with the roller gin, and then the short staple cotton where the seeds are not easily removed. And then this one, the second kind of gin, the one that Eli Whitney invents, it works really well on the short staple cotton. So let's watch this video. So in that you can see, I'm going to pause the video here. So you could see in that video that it was pulling, the seeds were coming out really easily. And even though that roller gin is not even stable on that table, it came out really easily. Now, with a real roller gin, it would be stable and she wouldn't have to hold it still on a table. But even with it stable, you'll see that the short staple cotton does not work well in this cotton gin, in this roller gin. So it just cannot separate the seeds from the cotton. Now here's Eli Whitney's cotton gin. And it's hard, you don't see it great, but over here on the right, you can see that, so that's the seeds and any extras that's kind of being left behind, but there's teeth all right here that are pulling against it, and the cotton is flying out here. Now there's not a lot of cotton in there right now, and it's still sending cotton out. If you can imagine if they were dumping, big hunks of cotton down in that hopper right there, that it would clean out lots of cotton. And so you can see all the cotton over here, and that's how it works. All right, so now let's go back to our reading. So after the invention of the cotton gin, after that second cotton gin that you see, not the roller gin, but the cotton gin, the yield of raw cotton doubled each decade after 1800. By mid-century, America was growing 3/4 of the world's supply of cotton, and the South provided 3/5 of America's exports, most of it in cotton. However, like many inventors, Whitney could not have foreseen the ways in which his invention would change the society for the worse. The most significant of these was the growth of slavery. While it was true that the cotton gin reduced the labor of removing seeds, it did not reduce the need for slaves to grow and pick the cotton. In fact, the opposite occurred. Cotton growing became so profitable that planters that for excuse me, cotton growing became so profitable for the planters that it greatly increased their demand for both land and slave labor. And so what we'll see two things here. We'll see two or three things really. So we'll see cotton grow. We'll see the cotton plantations, plantations that were growing tobacco, plantations that were growing trying other things. They all start to grow cotton. That I say all, lots of them, many of them start to grow cotton. The other thing is slavery which was kind of really not really growing that much, really starts to take off after this cotton gin takes off, because cotton production and growing is labor intensive, and so slavery really grows. And then finally, kind of going hand in hand with that is, well, land is needed, more land is needed, and so we see people moving further and further west to get land to grow cotton. And so cotton depletes the soil a lot, pulls a lot of nutrients out of the soil. And so even if there's not more farmers, they need more land because they're either going to move west to new land to grow their cotton because they've used up the soil, or they have to rotate their crops, and use to keep the soil able to produce. And so it takes a lot of land because you can't use all of your land at once for growing cotton. And if you do, your cotton production goes down. And so this is what's going on throughout the South. So it uses lots of soil, lots of nutrients out of the soil. Slave labor grows. So all this just really, these are some of the negative impacts of the cotton gin. The positive impact is that cotton is much cheaper, and fabric, whether it's clothes or other uses of fabric, is going to become much cheaper. And so people are going to have a better source of fabric as a result of this invention. So there's both positives and negatives.